Coming up on Sports Path, we've got a great show. We'll talk standings, and we'll also debut an all-new segment.
But the highlight of this episode will come at the end of the show, where we sit down with Shane Frost and Parker Fox of the Mahtomedi basketball squad for an exclusive interview heading into the winter season.
You're not going to want to miss it. Follow us as we take you down the Sports Path.
Ground ball finds the hole up the middle.
Steps up, goes deep left side, receiver open, counting, touchdown Titans! Takes a nice shot outside the goal box and he will break the 0-0 tie. Fantastic shot by Kenloff Solon.
Giller makes a move, a good one, opportunity here, the Bears score! The Bears strike first. He's at the 40, he's down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jalen Bryan. Why not? What a beautiful run. Maureen there, fights her off the puck, opportunity here, another sit, and a goal! Second chance effort for the Pioneers. Put the icing on the cake, if you will, Michael. Go down and got to the outside and said good evening and good night.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm Sam Erickson, joined by John Miller, and we have got a very fun show today. John, why don't you tell them what's going down in this week's episode?
Well, Sam, this episode includes an all-new segment called the Social Media Montage. That'll be coming up in just a little bit. At the end of the show, we have an exclusive interview with Parker Fox and Shane Frost of the Mahtomedi boys basketball team. And with the fall seasons wrapped up, we'll take a look at how your Fab Five teams are sitting at the beginning of the winter season.
Yeah, and speaking of the fall season being wrapped up, I came across an interesting stat for you. First off, have you heard about how big football is in the state of Alabama, John?
Yeah, it's the biggest sport there is, Sam.
Yeah, those southern states really get big into football at all levels. Well, listen to this. This year, there were 45,229 tickets sold for the Super 7 high school championship games in Alabama. Guess how many were sold for the championships in Minnesota?
Probably about half of Alabama.
You'd think that, John, but there were actually 47,309 tickets sold for the state tournament championship games this year in Minnesota. They set new records and beat Alabama's ticket sales by over 2,000, so take that, Crimson Tide. Obviously, the new U.S. Bank Stadium probably had a lot to do with that, but still, that's a pretty good number of tickets sold. Well, anyway, let's get into that new segment after that nice little stat, huh, John?
Yeah, go Minnesota. Okay, Sam, just like I said earlier, we are bringing an all-new segment this week, the Social Media Montage. This segment will combine posts on the social media from all over the Fab Five circles. Starting out, our new segment is a tweet from Tartan Athletic Director Brian Munter. He says, fantastic state tourney this season comes to an end for North Tartan Adapted Soccer. North Tartan made it to the state tournament all the way to the consolation semifinals, where they lost to Minneapolis Washburn 11-0 back on November 19th in Stillwater. Great season for the North Tartan Adapted Soccer team, and congratulations on your state tournament appearance.
And now we got one coming from the North Activities Twitter account. That was a photo from North's first gymnastics meet. It says North Gymnastics took second in the Simley Invite with a score of 125.95. Go Polars! And that was North's first gymnastics competition of the year.
Yeah, the Hill Murray Pioneers tweeted a photo of the boys hockey team. HMBH volunteered at United HL today inspecting hockey gear for families of servicemen and women. That's a great cause. As the boys hockey season is just starting, it looks like the teams are out in the community showing their support for their local charities.
And speaking of Hill Murray hockey, the Pittsburgh Penguins tweeted a photo of former Hill Murray hockey player Jake Gunsel. Gunsel becomes the 5th player in Penguins history to score his first NHL goal on his first shift. His first NHL goal was also the fastest goal scored by a Penguins player, making his NHL debut coming at 1 minute 2 seconds of the first period. The goal also came on his very first shot in the game. Gunsel quickly scored his second NHL goal at 13:12 of the first period in his debut. What a great game for Jake Gunsel. once again a former Hill Murray Pioneer who tallied 42 goals and 82 assists for 124 points with the Pioneers over 2 seasons. He then played a year in the USHL for the Sioux City Musketeers before heading to college to play at the University of Nebraska, Omaha.
All right, folks, one last tweet here before we get into some standings. This one coming from an undefeated Matamidi girls basketball team. They said, huge OT win against Hudson. First home game is this Thursday. Come watch us ball out. 100 Purple Devil. Hashtag 2-0. You heard it here, folks. Out for the game tomorrow. Cheer on. Currently undefeated Matamidi girls basketball team. Well, that's it for our social media montage. To have a tweet featured in SportsPath, be sure to tag us at TV19Sports or hashtag TV19Sports.
Yeah, that is an awesome segment. Keep those tweets coming. Gotta love it. But now we're going to switch things over, and we'll start by getting into some standings as the winter sports are just underway. And with that, we'll start with hockey and take a look at the girls' Metro East standings. Well, a few teams started conference play last night, including Hill Murray, who won big over Henry Sibley 7-0. There were 6 different goal scorers for the Pioneers, and Rachel Kennedy stopped all 15 shots, picking up a shutout win in her first start of the season. North Tartan lost a heartbreaker to Hastings 1-0, and Matamidi rolled over Simley 7-2, with Kennedy Berggren getting 2 goals and 2 assists for the Zephyrs. Matamidi and Hill Murray returned to conference action on Friday.
Yeah, now let's take a look at White Bear in the Suburban East. The Bears have been on a roll since their 1-2 start, winning their last 4, including a huge conference victory over 7th-ranked Cretin-Durham Hall on Saturday. Sydney Sheeran's 2 second-period goals led the way as White Bear survived some first-period penalties to win it 3-2. Great start in what is a very difficult conference. The Bears are ranked 16th in Class 2A. They continue conference play tonight at Eastridge.
Nice, good luck to the Bears. Well, that will do things for girls standings. Now we'll move over to boys hockey with a look at the Metro East. What do you got for us, John?
Yeah, Matamidi started conference play Saturday, and as you can see, they are 1-0 beating South St. Paul easily, 7-1. Luke Posner scored 2 while Matt Vanelli added 2 assists. Tartan lost their first conference game of the year last night to St. Thomas Academy. Hill Murray is yet to start play in the Metro East, but the Pioneers are 2-0 and ranked 14th in Class 2A. Hill plays a tough non-conference game against Benilde tomorrow and then open things up in conference on Saturday against Matamidi down at Aldrich Arena. Game starts at 7:30. It should be a really good one, Sam.
That's right. TV19 is going to be down there as well, so be sure and catch that one Saturday. We'll replay that in the following days. All right, well, now we'll take a look at White Bear Lake in the Suburban East, and we see the Bears at 2-0 and on top of the conference. White Bear is 4-0 overall and has already got big wins over Forest Lake and Eastridge in that Suburban East Conference. Max Genrich leads the Bears with 6 goals, and Austin Carroll leads with 6 assists. Goalie Bob Parenteau has a 95% save percentage to start the year. White Bear has a tough road ahead with 3 straight conference road games, but let's keep that winning streak alive. Go Bears.
Yeah, what a great start to the season. Well, that should just do it for hockey. We'll talk basketball and highlight our athletes of the week when we return. Don't go anywhere. This is TV19.
Dancing to me, I think it's the truest form of expression.
I was a dancer since I was 4 years old. I was tripping and I was falling and I didn't even know what multiple sclerosis was.
With the 360 camera, it gives the chance for someone to see what I see, experience what I experience. Have a surprise.
Are you ready for this?
Here we go.
Oh my God. I dream sometimes and I see that. I like the way your arms end.
Yay.
TV19 sports fans, we just want to remind you that we couldn't do any broadcast without the generous help of our volunteers. That's right, all of our cameras are run by volunteers, and we are always looking for more help. In exchange for helping us out, we will feed you for the night. Contact Arlen Becker. His contact info is listed on the screen there, and you could get involved right away.
Always a good opportunity. Well, welcome back inside the friendly confines of the Sports Path studio. Sam Erickson and John Miller here, live as we always do every other Wednesday night. Well, been a good show so far tonight, John, but there's plenty more to get to, including a couple athletes that we want to highlight here on Sports Path. Take it away.
Yeah, we're actually doing Players of the Week earlier in the show, and it's that time again. Let's take a look at our male and female Fab 5 Athletes of the Week. For the male athlete of the week, we have Hill Murray forward, sophomore number 14, Ben Helgeson, who had 2 goals in the 8-3 win over Eastview on the 3rd. And I'm sure this won't be the last time you all hear Helgeson's name, as he is just a sophomore. For female athlete of the week, we have Hill Murray junior forward, number 22, Abigail Bowereen, who had 2 goals and 1 assist for the Pioneers in a 5-0 win over Lakeville on Saturday, November 26th. Fun fact, Bowereen is actually committed to the University of Minnesota, as they got a very good program up there. So good luck to her in her future. So congrats to both of you two fine young Pioneer hockey players, and good luck for the rest of the season. It's about to be basketball season though, so there will be a lot of competition for Athletes of the Week. I look forward to seeing which of you Fab 5 athletes step up for your teams this winter.
Yeah, no doubt. Congrats to our athletes. How about those commits? I'm guessing we're going to be hearing those names in the future. And you mentioned basketball, John. Well, speaking of basketball, we are now going to take a look at how things are shaping up early on for your Fab 5 B-ball teams. And with Zaria Chevre and Zaria Whitlock, the Tartan Titans look to build off of last year's success and surprise a few teams this season. Chevre played on the team last year as an 8th grader, and she looks to come back strong as a freshman this season. She had 10 points in Tartan's opening season loss to ESCO, but don't count out the Titans. That ESCO team is very good, going 23-3 last year, and are perfect 3-0 to start this season. Another team that looks strong in the Metro East this season is Mahtomedi. Mahtomedi already has a 2-0 start and look to have a team poised for a nice playoff run this year. North St. Paul looks to improve on a 3-23 season last year. They're off to a 2-1 start. The Polars are already on their way to equaling last year's win total, only 3 games into the season.
Yes, and now we'll take a look at the Suburban East Conference. White Bear Lake sits at 2-2 on the season thus far. They utterly destroyed Minneapolis Southwest 59-12 in their season opening tournament, but lost to Eastview 62-31 the following day after graduating many of their team leaders and top goal scorers that have led them to a state tournament run, which eventually ended in the 3rd place game, losing to Eastview. The Bears look to have a rebuilding season. They already have some key players, Audrey Perron and Jordan Ferran, stepping up to the basket and sinking those shots to lead the team, both averaging over 10 points a game. We will see where the Bears could finish this year as the season progresses. We will be at the South Campus Friday, December 9th, as me and Sam will be broadcasting that game as the Bears take on Cottage Grove, Park of Cottage Grove. Don't miss it when the game airs the following day on TV19.
Well, that is that for girls basketball. Our Fab 5 schools are represented well across both those conferences. Let's move over to the boys, where North and Tartan split the Metro East Conference crown last year.
Yeah, and just like last year, Sam, we expect Tartan and North to battle it out for the Metro East again this year. All-conference selection Jordan Horn returns his senior year at Tartan, and good news, Capogal is a year older after leading North to the state tournament as a sophomore. We captured both regular season matchups between North and Tartan last year, which got some great views on our YouTube channel. And of course, let's not forget about the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, led by our studio guest tonight, Parker Fox and Shane Frost. Mahtomedi is ranked 6th in Class 3A and are 2-0 on the season after beating St. Paul Como Park last night. Fox finished with 24 points, while Frost added 19 in the 66-59 victory. The Zephyrs travel to Monticello Friday as the teams continue non-conference action.
And in the Suburban East, we take a look at White Bear Lake. The Bears are looking to turn things around after a 4-22 record last season. White Bear started their season with a close one last night, losing to Cambridge Isanti 64-60. James Beckler led the Bears with 16 points, while Sam Schwartz added 13. White Bear looks for their first win of the year at Coon Rapids on Friday and have a tough game away from home against North on Tuesday.
Yeah, folks, if you remember last week on Sports Path, we showed you a couple mannequin challenges that our Fab 5 athletes tweeted out. One of them was filmed by Parker Fox, who, as I said earlier, we have studio here as a guest for an interview in just a few minutes. Well, the girls basketball team over at Mahtomedi tweeted their own mannequin challenge. The team is seen here rock climbing as a team activity. That must take a lot of strength to stay perfectly still on that rock wall. I don't know if you've ever climbed one of those things, but it's tough. There they are, staying perfectly still in their victory, or in their very own mannequin challenge. The Zephyr girls basketball team is 2-1 so far, at the beginning of the season, with wins over River Falls and Hudson in a tournament in Stillwater. The win came over in overtime with the score of 65-60. The Zephyr girls squad is going to be one we keep our eyes on this season.
Yeah, no idea how they kept that position held there on that climbing wall. Well, coming up, we sit down with the two seniors on the Mahtomedi boys basketball team to talk hoops and get a little more insight on their upcoming season. But before we go, we will leave you with our very own mannequin challenge that we did at the last Sports Path taping. Don't go anywhere. We got Parker Fox and Shane Frost in studio after the break.
Young bull living like an old geese. Quick release the cash, watch it fall slowly. Frat girl still trying to get in. Haters mad for whatever reason. Smoke in the air, binge drinking. They lose it when the DJ
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our technical skills, our math, our engineering skills. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our organizational skills, our problem-solving skills. You're going to need our determination, our honesty, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
I see my friends out there getting waves and talking about them, and I know exactly what they're doing and what they're feeling and everything. It's like, it's hard. I was diagnosed when I was 57. It was a surprise to me when they told me I had MS. It's like, you sure?
Well, the idea is this is a 360-degree virtual reality camera rig. Steve hasn't been able to ride a wave in way too many years, so now I'm going to ride a wave and we get to share it with him. Well, we're going to do something.
Just put that on your head. Whoa. Oh, this is unreal. Coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Nice. Nice. This is fantastic.
Yeah, let me set it up and you get into
Set
the
it up.
ride.
Let's do that again.
TV19 sports fans, we want to remind you to check us out on social media with a new social media montage to start out every show. We will definitely have our eyes on the Twitter sphere for important Fab 5 tidbits, so feel free to tag us in your tweets and hashtag TV19 Sports, and your post may be featured on Sports Path. So welcome back, TV19 sports fans. Sam is over getting ready for another interview on the other set, but we'll get you into something else before we throw it over there. We want to give a special shout out to Coach Mark Klingsporn of the Tartan boys basketball squad. Last night, Mark reached a very important milestone in his coaching career. He recorded his 500th win as the head coach of the boys basketball team at Tartan. with an 84-57 win over Richfield in the opening game of the season. His all-time record now stands at 500 to 241 losses. He has one state title under his belt from 2000, as well as 9 section championships, 8 conference titles, and 19 20-plus win seasons. He was selected as the section coach of the year 9 times over his 27 years as the head coach. Congratulations to Mark in his 500th win, but it doesn't stop there. He's also a 2016 inductee into the Minnesota Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Mark, on a great career so far. Now get out there and start adding to those numbers, starting with win 501. Now let's throw it over to Sam with the Fox and
All right, we're over here in the other studio, and I am sitting with a couple stars from the Mahtomedi boys basketball team. Got Parker Fox and Shane Frost. First of all, I want to say thanks for you guys for coming in and joining us, and how are you guys doing?
Good, how are you? Doing well, thanks for having us.
I'm doing great. I'm just going to start off. First off, Parker, why don't you tell us, when did you start playing basketball?
You know, basketball has been engraved in my family since we were young. My dad played when he was a kid, my mom played, Grandpa played, so, you know, basketball was kind of the thing always growing up. And, you know, with the little mini Tykes hoop downstairs and shooting with Dad. So, you know, starting from young and just began to love the game, so made it where I am today.
Awesome. And Shane?
First organized basketball, I went to the YMCA basketball camps in 4th grade and stuff, but my dad was a really good basketball player in high school. His brother was a really good player, so kind of the same thing, family thing, kind of brought up into it and fell in love with the game right away.
I was going to say, Parker, you're fairly tall. I thought there might be some basketball players in your family. Any former Zephyrs in either of your families?
You know, my mom went to White Bear, so my grandparents lived there, and my dad played basketball as well. You know, he's 6'8", so, you know, we have our little competitions to see who's taller, and I'm almost there.
What are you at these days?
I'm about 6'7.5", so, you know, I'm almost there, so we kind of check every day to see if I got him yet.
Well, I wish you luck. You probably get there at one point. Get you ever closer to that rim. You know, always a good thing in basketball. And then Shane, you got any Zephyrs in your family?
Nope, just my first year here was last year. Moved from Hudson. My parents both went to schools in Minnesota, so growing up in Wisconsin was a little different, but I'm here now.
I'm sure Mahtomedi is glad to have you, especially after the points you've been putting up early on in this season. Did you play any youth programs growing up in Mahtomedi or in White Bear?
Yeah, we played Mahtomedi growing up all the way. We had traveling team since 4th grade. And a lot of the guys are still on the team today. We have, I think, 6 or 7 of our 10 seniors are still on that team today that we started in 4th grade. And with Coach Newman, too, he helped, his son is on our team, Trey. So he's helped coach us on the way up, too. So we've had a group of guys that have been together for a while. And
yeah, it's kind of one of the great things about communities like Mahtomedi. A lot of times you get players at the high school level that play together, even as kids and stuff like that. I know, Shane, it was a little different for you, but was last year kind of the first time you played with these guys, or did you play with them before?
Guys like Andy Voyan and Will Tuttle and obviously Parker, I played with them in summer a couple years, so my parents got to be good friends, which kind of influenced the decision to come here. But last year coming to the guys, they accepted me right away. They're all my best friends or family. Right away, there was no kind of awkwardness, there was no exclusion, so it was a really easy transition.
Yeah, another great thing about a community like Mahtomedi, you know, got very nice people, good stuff across the board. Now, Parker, I know you played in a few varsity games as a sophomore. What was it like coming out of the team as a sophomore and playing with, you know, older guys like, I know Sean Jelly was on that team, big man, and Sam Newman?
Yeah, you know, it was fun looking up to those guys, and I didn't really go in expecting to play a whole lot of varsity because I knew how deep that senior class was and how much talent they had. So, you know, just tried to pick things up from those guys like Sean and Sam and Sammy Mooster and just learn more about the game. And I knew my time would come, but not to force it and just ease into it.
Nice. Now, I know last year you guys got the #1 seed in your section. Things maybe didn't end up the way you had wanted it, but going into that postseason, what were your thoughts? You know, what were kind of the goals, Shane?
I saw a state run in us. I truly believed it. We got the 1 seed. Seeds don't really matter, but, you know, we had the confidence going in. We won the games we needed to win to get that 1 seed. So state run was in my mind.
You know, you did lose that one game. What do you think happened there? Maybe a little bit of overconfidence, something like that?
You know, we definitely a confident team. We believe in abilities that we have, not only as individuals, but as a team. You know, we just didn't really play like our basketball like we normally do. You know, like you said, just when we play together, that's when we play best. When we get out in transition, when we're wrong, we trust each other, and we're all at fault for that. Sometimes we all can be. So just realizing that you're at fault and just trying to do what you can do to fix it and make teammates better.
Yeah, one of those tough things about the postseason, when it can all come down to one game, where you really have to be your best at all times.
Yes, sir.
Now, did that affect things going into this season? How did you approach the offseason after how things ended last year?
I think, honestly, that gave us a jump on the season. That gave us a little head start because we know what can happen. It doesn't matter if we're the 1 seed or the 8 seed. We can lose to anybody, and we can beat anybody. So we know what can happen. We know what we got to work on, and we know what the goal is, and that's a state run.
Yeah, it's a learning experience, albeit a tough one, but I think it probably helps you guys out going into this year. Now, talking about this year, got a real tough conference in the Metro East, a couple 4A schools with North and Tartan teams that battle it out and kind of shared a bit of the crown last year, returning a lot of good players. But where do you guys see yourselves in that Metro East Conference?
Oh, like you said, North and Tartan are both two really good programs and have been for a long time. But we definitely see ourselves up there with them. We had close games with them both last year, and they definitely returned good players, like you said. And we know all these guys, and we talk to them through social media and stuff. So we've gotten to know them, but we definitely see ourselves as not only individuals, but as a good team and coming together and hopefully getting that Metro Conference championship.
Now, how do you think playing that tough conference schedule, Shane? How does that help you when you get into the postseason?
I think having those two big 4A schools in our conference really helps because we're not playing these. We have small schools in our conference, but we're not always playing small schools. So when we get to state, we got to play the schools that are best in our class. So it just really prepares us to who we got to go up against in state once we get past sections.
Well, and you have already started the season. Got a couple games under your belt. Got a win over Chisago Lake, 68-45. Beat Como Park last night, 66-59, as we mentioned earlier. Looking ahead, which games in the early part of your season do you think might be a little bit difficult?
We have a big Metro East versus Metro West conference kind of battle going on, I think December 17th, and we play Robbinsdale Cooper. So we're looking forward to that one for sure. Obviously games like Tartan and North in our conference are going to be fun as well.
Postseason will come this year. After last year, you guys got the 1 seed. It ended up being Fridley, the 6 seed, who ended up taking home that section championship. I know it's a little bit early, but how do you think that section is going to shape up? You think you guys are looking good for that number 1 seed again?
Yeah, we have confidence in our team and all the players on our team, the coaches and everything, and we have the talent, we have the ability. We just got to work hard, and if we do, there's no reason we don't get that number 1 seed again.
Yeah, it's been a while since Mahtomedi has made it to the state tournament. In fact, since 1961. Want to wish you guys a lot of good luck along the way. Any last words? Any shout-outs you want to give out there?
I don't think so. Shout out to the squad.
Yeah, shout out to the squad.
Shout out to
everybody,
the squad.
Man.
Maybe Coach Keith Newman.
Yeah, shout out, Coach.
All right, well, thanks again to Parker Fox, Shane Frost for joining us here on Sports Path. I think it's going to be a great year for you guys. We look forward to following you here on TV19 and catching a couple of your games. I want to thank you guys again for spending some time with us.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, that should just about do it for us here at TV19 and Sports Path. For everyone involved, we want to say thank you for watching, and we will catch you next time. Of course, don't want to forget about some of our upcoming broadcasts. Got that great Hill Murray and Mahtomedi hockey game coming up on the 10th. That is this Saturday at 7:30, and then our next episode of Sports Path is on the 21st. For everyone here at TV19, we will catch you then. We'll see you on Sports Path.
Opportunity, and they score! Kennedy Berggren gets the Zephyrs on the board with just under 3 minutes left to play.
Shane Frost driving to the lane, puts up a tough layup and gets it to go. Frost driving, he'll dish off, and what an assist! Nice. That's just a fun name to say when you're an announcer. Parker Fox picks off the pass, goes the other way, and throws it down.
And that definitely sparks this home.
Parker Fox wide open from the corner as the buzzer sounds.